Whether it's fishing, aquaculture, recreation, or any number of marine activities, they all depend on healthy oceans. A crucial part of delivering this is with marine protected areas, or MPAs. Policy expert MacMahon has worked on MPAs in New Zealand and the UK before returning to Ireland.
Tell me, what is a marine protected area?
So a marine protected area is essentially a geographically defined area and it's protected through legal means for achieving stated conservation objectives, so conserving a wide range of features or habitats and species. So you have everything from, I suppose, a low level of protection where you would allow a lot of activities in an area, right up to your strictest type of protection, essentially no take zones.
Why do we need marine protected areas?
Because the ecosystem operates in kind of such a delicate way and everything is interconnected, that if you protect, for example, a fish nursery habitat, you have such a beneficial impact then on everything that relies on that. So our foraging birds, cetaceans, and then obviously as well there's a climate benefit to MPAs. Seagrass, for example, sequesters 35 times more carbon than tropical rainforests. So the climate benefits of that habitat alone are massive. And as well as that, they can really help to sustain coastal communities. So it's everything from, I suppose, improving biodiversity, improving those ecosystem services, and also providing benefits for socioeconomic reasons.
And there's a huge surge now in interest in offshore wind developments, wind farms, and that's a good thing, surely, facing into a climate crisis.
Absolutely, it is going to be a really important component of decarbonising our economy, but we need to be careful here that we're not doing it to the detriment of the biodiversity emergency. These are two interlinked emergencies that we have, so let's make sure that we get the protection right and that we're also getting it right for, decarbonising our economy.
There's so many different things going on at sea, from wind energy to fishing to seaweed aquaculture to protected areas. How do we plan for those in a spatial level?
On a European level, there is a directive and an obligation for us to develop what's known as a marine spatial plan. And basically, that's a way of analysing and deciding what activities go where in our marine environment. We have to ensure that these plans contribute to the preservation and the protection and the improvement of the marine environment. And by leaving MPAs outside of that process, which has happened in Ireland, we're not really meeting that objective of what they should be doing.
So there might be people in coastal communities who'd be worried about the mention of a marine protected areas and think that this is a place where they can't do their normal marine activities. Are there benefits for coastal communities in having marine protected areas?
So MPAs, I think they should be really viewed as a positive thing for our environment and for coastal communities. So obviously we have the biodiversity benefits and that's well documented. But there's also the benefits of the spillover effects of these areas. So for example, an abundance of fish and shellfish species outside of them, that then you can have some levels of fishing around them, and that brings a benefit to local communities and to the fishing sector. But also, what do we stand to lose? If we don't protect these areas, we're going to see continued decline in our fish stocks. So really it's about also restoring populations of fish species.
Would you have high hopes now that we're going to have good marine protected areas in Ireland in the next couple of years?
I do have high hopes for MPAs in Ireland in the future. So the government has committed to achieving 30% protected areas by 2030, which is brilliant. But what's crucial is that we can designate 30%, a spatial designation, quite easily. But it has to be meaningful, it has to be effective, and it has to work. So I think that's the challenge, is getting an effective 30%. But I do think we can do it. Stakeholders are getting on board. Public perception has really changed in the last number of years. And we just need the political will and the resources to get there now.